Welcome to a special edition of Ac3TV. I'm Justin Tippett, and in this episode we explore a fantastic new report that's been put together by the team at Future People. And to help me go through the report, I'm joined by the founder and managing director, Linda Simonson. Linda, welcome.
Thanks, Justin.
Great to have you on board. Now, you've put together an absolutely fantastic paper.
Thank you.
And I just sort of wanted to understand, firstly, just the motivation for putting it together.
Yeah, look, I think there's a lot of research out there in the industry around customer trends and contact centre performance, but not a lot out there that looks at the link between employee engagement and customer engagement and organisational performance. So we really wanted to give the industry some information back from job seekers in relation to what they want and what keeps them engaged in the workplace.
Fantastic. All right. Well, look, I know everyone's really time poor out there, so we'll probably just spend the next 5 minutes just giving everyone a bit of a highlights, and obviously you can go and download the report later on. Sure. So in terms of your market snapshot, sort of how it all kicks off, there was 5 key trends in there. Can you quickly sort of run through what they were?
The first one's definitely hiring as a key priority for contact centres in 2012. We've got attrition sitting at 43%, so that means close to 100,000 vacancies that the industry's creating per year that need to be filled. Yeah. Demand is definitely outstripping supply, so demand for contact centre workers is only second to mining in Australia.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really puts it in context, and I think it highlights for employers in contact centres, if you really want to attract good talent, you've got to get smart about it. Yeah. But there's still a lot of opportunity there. I think by some innovative methods, there's ways to attract some great talent from outside the industry to the contact centre industry. Other key trends, definitely a focus on employee engagement as the key to customer engagement. Win the hearts and minds of your people, and you win the hearts and minds of your customers. Yep. And companies that have engaged employees perform at least 20% better. So that's really interesting. I think gives contact centre managers a real focus for this year and beyond. And then, of course, there's a shift to multi-channel. So actually recruiting differently for multi-channel contact centres, given the different skill sets and the type of customer engagement required.
Now, the other bit you touch in, which everyone's always fascinated in, is salaries. I noticed it looks like there's a bit of an increase across the board. Can you sort of give me a bit of an idea of the theme behind that and what jobs are increasing over others?
Absolutely. So we've definitely seen a spike in salaries over the last 12 months. So the uncertainty that was there, during the downturn has been left behind pretty much for contact centres. So employees have a lot of options, and it's definitely an employees market. So we've seen at least a 10% jump in agent entry-level basic role salaries.
From last year?
Absolutely. So entry-level going from, sort of 40 to 42 plus superannuation to now being 42, more likely 45 plus superannuation. And that's someone that has no experience, doesn't come from the industry. Yeah.
So for school leavers or someone straight in the workforce, it's great money.
Absolutely. It's a great opportunity. Team managers, big emphasis on team managers being the locus of culture and the key to engagement of staff. So seeing quite a big jump in team managers who are skilled people leaders and people managers, moving from where they used to be at 65, now we're seeing them at 75 or $80,000 a year plus superannuation.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's not bad, and but well deserved. I think team managers have a really important role to play.
They usually say, people leave their manager, not the job.
Yeah, so. Exactly. People leave managers, not organisations. Another movement's telesales or telemarketing. So organisations starting to see, or put more emphasis on the value of that function. And of course, good ops managers, moving up from 120 to 150, but with a particular focus on them being people leaders.
Yeah, right. And that's the theme, isn't it? The people leaders is becoming crucial. You mentioned that attrition around 43%, I think it was, a 5-year high. What are some of the drivers that you found that are driving that?
Well, look, the attrition story is not all bad. 43% also includes internal, what we call positive attrition. So we're seeing half the people, leaving the contact centre going into other roles in the organisation. So it's certainly not all bad.
They love the call centre staff, don't they?
Yeah. So the industry's done a great job at actually raising the profile and creating talent paths and career paths out of the contact centre. But of course, the roles still need to be recruited and trained. So it's a big cost for contact centres. Key drivers of attrition, they're really the same as they've always been. Of course, recruitment has a role to play, and it's really important to select someone who's got the right motivational fit for the job and also for the contact centre environment. Onboarding and training, obviously, if it's not done well, we see early stage attrition, but very much people management and team managers maybe not always being equipped to have really intuitive, meaningful conversations with their people about how their job actually fits in with their life goals.
Yeah, and I think there's still that old adage that's still around in the industry to a degree, where a good agent doesn't necessarily mean a good team leader.
That's right, yeah. So I think big emphasis on trying to skill our team leaders to be people leaders.
Now, you've got a fantastic interview in there with Antoine Casgrain, and Antoine's had a lot of success in his career, and it's a really insightful interview. I suppose it's the old adage, happy staff, happy customers.
Yes.
Talk to me about the interview and how have you worked with them to make things a success?
Well, we've worked with St George Bank over the last close to 5 years, crafting a recruitment solution that would hire staff that have the propensity to be engaged with the St George culture and the St George brand. And so we've been able to contribute to really significantly reduced attrition. I think what St George has done very, very well is really focus on what we call the happiness quotient, which is focus on happy employees. They are more productive, they turn up more often, they stay with you longer, and they engage a customer as well. So the interview with Antoine's a really great insight into some of the tiny techniques, and I think the one thing that Antoine and St George does well is actually focus on the small things as being really important. So really interesting interview, and some quite good tips there in terms of how to get a really high level of staff engagement.
Yeah, there were some fantastic practical tips in there, which I think most people out there will find very useful. Now, it's obviously a changing world out there in terms of recruitment, and you said, obviously the industry is struggling to attract the numbers that we need, I guess. What are people out there looking for now? You've done a bit of research on that as well.
Yeah, look, it's definitely changed. For good employers, the benefits that they're offering employees as a starting point include flexible rostering, extra leave, financial benefits, lifestyle benefits, health benefits. But I think the key thing that employees are looking for and really expecting from an employer now, and they have so many options that if they're not experiencing it, they can find something else pretty quickly, is a culture of engagement. A culture which complements who they are as a person, who treats them like an individual, and I guess that rewards both their experience and their contribution. So it's very much about employees wanting to feel part of a community and feel connected to something and make a difference.
Sure. Well, we've definitely got some challenges in the industry to change that around, but I think we're well on our way. Linda, there's so much detail in this report that we obviously just can't cover. Where can people go to actually download a copy?
Absolutely. We're just about to launch our new website, so visit www.futurepeople.com.au and look up the trend report.
Fantastic. Look, congratulations on a great initiative and a great report, and we look forward to hearing everyone's feedback on it.
Thank you.